Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Stranger Days. And you know what sucks? Stalkers, right? Any forward facing public person, celebrity, politician, otherwise, has people out there that get a little bit too lovey-dovey on them. You know what I mean? They get a little bit too invested on them, right? I myself have had a couple weird ones over the years, a couple odd ones over the years that have really made me question how much I talk to some people, because it's always crazy, but never as crazy as if I was a mega super crazy star, right? If I was someone like, let's say, Kanye, where you need security wherever you go, Kim Kardashian, same thing, right? But even Taylor Swift, and we all know Taylor Swift has dealt with a lot of it, because even just last year, or maybe even earlier this year, she won a lawsuit against her stalker. You know, she actually had to go to court and fight this guy to get him to leave her alone. And it's a big deal. A lot of celebrities deal with this, but they never really talk about it because they just they think mostly if they ignore it, it can go away. But with technology, it does make it a little bit easier at public events if you know exactly what to do. And that's basically what Taylor Swift is up to in a very interesting way. But first things first, if you guys want to help support the channel, the best way to do that right now is through subscribestar.com/mundane Matt. With Patreon clamping down on content its users create off the platform, it's effectively pushed for a Patreon purge. In solidarity with Sargon and the situation he currently finds himself in. So if you guys want to help me out, I'm over here now, subscribestar.com/mundane Matt. Again, really appreciate it. So anyway, let's talk about Tay-Tay here. And Tay-Tay and stalkers, because Taylor Swift's always an interesting subject matter. But what it is now is Taylor Swift is going to be tracking stalkers with facial recognition tech at her concert. Now, that was so fascinating to me, just seeing the headline for this, because I know that this technology has already been implemented in casinos and other places, right? You probably don't think about that. You know, you go into a casino and so, you know, you're not supposed to be there and they boot you out. You wonder how they spotted you. Back when I used to work at a casino and I used to do security at a casino in 2001, what they had was they had a book of like mugshots. And if someone was in there that looked somewhat familiar, they would then go look through those mugshots and try to match the person up in order to then go and boot them out. Now, the more frequent regulars that were off limits, they could recognize them right away and get rid of them. But now I know, especially in Vegas, they run facial recognition software through an algorithm that's able to detect people, and that is cool. It is cool. It's also very, very, very frightening if you think about it, right? Like where exactly is your information, your data, your face being stored? Where is it? What databases is it on? And where exactly is it being tracked? And where are you being tracked? That's creepy, right? Makes me wonder where people know I've been. Anyway, Taylor Swift held a concert at California's Rose Bowl this last May that was monitored by a facial recognition system. The systems target hundreds of Swift stalkers. See, I bring up like Taylor as a big example of this because out of almost anyone I've ever seen in like celebrities, as far as stalkers go, she seems to have some crazy ones. I think there was like Nicolas Cage had one where he woke up and the dude was like sitting on the edge of his bed, like eating a sandwich or something, had like broken into his house. I mean, this sort of thing happens. There was a crazy stalker who went after a couple YouTubers, right? In Houston, I think last year, and he ended up being shot by police or getting into a shootout with police and then killed himself after he tried breaking into their home and he had a gun. I mean, this kind of crap happens. It really does happen, which is one of the reasons why doxing people is not a good thing. Just saying, just putting that out there. Anyway, Swift's facial recognition system was built into a kiosk that displayed highlights of her rehearsals, which would secretly record onlookers' faces. Rolling Stone spoke with a concert security expert who observed the kiosk. Attendees who looked at the kiosk were immediately scanned. Afterward, the data was sent to a command post in Nashville, Tennessee that attempted to match hundreds of images to a database of her known stalkers. Now that is smart. That is very, very smart. That is. Because you're going to be able to identify anyone who is a super obsessed Tay-Tay fan, right? Like if it's a stalker who's been known, and they go and they're going to look whatever they can. New unreleased scene footage, Taylor Swift rehearsing, and then, you know, they whip it out and start beating off right there. You're going to know who it is. But now with this facial recognition software, they can really identify it. U.S. artists haven't previously been publicized for using facial recognition tech at their concerts. However, the legality of doing so is on the artist's side. A concert is technically a private event. Therefore, event organizers can subject the concert goers to almost any kind of surveillance, which again is true. You're entering onto private property. This isn't a public event. It's very much a private event. You paid admission to be there. You agree to the terms of services of that particular business. You know, you agree to be recorded. It's one of the reasons why when you go to like casinos or something, they'll put up a thing, say, hey, you're being recorded. You know, just so you know, they don't really have to, but they do anyway. Now, the security measures taken for Swift's event could be considered extreme, but not the first time facial recognition has been used to look out for unwanted attendees. This past April, Chinese police arrested a 31-year-old suspect who was hiding among nearly 60,000 people during a concert at the Nanchang International Sports Center. This was made possible by the early stages of China's own Luan or Sharp Eyes monitoring system, which will be used in monitoring movements of its citizens. Now, China, this is true. When it comes to dealing with very oppressive regimes in regards to how they censor their people and they monitor their people, there's no greater advocate for 1984's Big Brother than China. It's true. It's very, very, very true, right? Look at their whole social credit situation. But it makes sense that this technology exists to look at wide, large swaths of people and try to pick out a person who could be a possible danger, a possible threat. And that's not just against the celebrity or the performer. It's about people who are there. Imagine if this was at Ariana Grande's concert, right? Was it Manchester that had to happen, right? The bombings and everything else, and they were able to identify this ahead of time. Now, that's a good thing if they were able to do that. But there are clearly privacy concerns and a lot of other problems with it. And I'm not advocating for it 100%. Because there are issues with it in regards to privacy. But when you are in a private establishment, you do kind of give up those rights. Now, back in the US, advancements are being made with facial recognition technology for big crowds. For example, Ticketmaster envisions replacing tickets with a facial scan that is tied to your seat, and it is further developing the tech. While you might not be scanned going to see the next Marvel film, a movie ticket in the future might just be your face. Well, I mean, they're already getting closer to that anyway. You buy it on your phone and you scan a QR code, and same kind of tech, I guess. But the real question is here, are you going to be able to log in through your Facebook, look at your webcam, have them take a shot of your face, and then that is what's going to get put in the, is that what's going to get put out there, right? Put into a database and then used to verify your identity. Like, last year, I was driving Uber Eats for a little bit, and I took a picture of myself, you know, so they could see me. Right? So you had to do that. Have to have a photo for the, you know, so the person I'm delivering to knows that it's like I'm a legit human. And then they wanted me a couple weeks later to verify my identity by taking a picture of myself. And so I held the phone up and I matched up the eyes and the nose and the mouth and stuff and took a picture and sent it in through the system. And the system's algorithm was then able to determine through facial recognition of what I look like, the different points on my face, that I am who I say I am. Now, that to me does kind of feel like it is going to be the way of the future. And in that particular regard, I think that's kind of cool. If I don't have to carry tickets with me because I freaking lose them all the damn time, or if I want to buy a plane ticket and it scans my face, and that way when I go to TSA or I'm trying to get through, I just got to go, all right, here I am, and it scans my face and it's all like, you're going here, do your thing. Right? It could save time on TSA. It could save time on a lot of other aspects of it. I mean, granted, it's all security theater. Let's be fair. It's security theater. All right. Some of it's going to be preventative. Other stuff, not so much. If someone is determined to get through, they can just put on like a silly putty mask or whatever, like one of those like fake nose and glasses and like walk through the crowd and like you fool the camera. Facial recognition is not a perfect system. It's definitely not a perfect system. And altering your face to look a certain way might be able to bypass it. But at the same time, it could also be used as a preventative measure in regards to getting access into those events. So it's kind of the way of the future, but it does open up a lot of discussions about privacy and implementations of the technology, which is where I leave it to you. Do you feel that this technology should be used more broadly? Should it have a much more narrow scope? Is it good? Is it bad? Where do you sit on it? I am curious to know. Let me know down in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been Stranger Days. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe. If you made it this far, type Tay-Tay into the chat so I know. Give some love to my girl, Taylor. And I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.